Hi, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to our live broadcast. This is your friend, your brother, Muvita Nawa. Greetings from Lusaka, Zambia, a place where birds fly backwards. Please let me know where you're joining us from so that I can welcome you and remind you of your greatness, of your special place in our broadcast, and also of the great things that are about to happen in your life and my life. Please take note as you are joining our live broadcast that this is an independent broadcast of MCN Live of Muvita Nawa, and it is a broadcast designed to simply inspire, to motivate, and to encourage people wherever they may be. This broadcast is not affiliated with any person. It's not affiliated with any government. It's not affiliated with any organization, but it is an independent broadcast of the Muvita Sinawa MCN Live Communication 2. We want to welcome Wiseman Max Zimba from Kitwe, Daliso from Mazabuka. Good evening. Hymns Amos says very impressive. Kalea says very impressive. Glenda Jackson joining us all the way from California. Good evening, my friend and my sister. And him says, I'm watching you from Chisamba ZNS. Reagan Noble, our boss. How are you doing? You are our bosses. Everybody's a boss somewhere. Sesheke Mukumbuta says, I'm watching you from Sesheke. You are welcome. Abshine, you are welcome. From Choma. Says, I love you, Mr. Nawa. Abshine, we love you as well. Thank you very much. Without further ado, the topic for today is the importance of entrepreneurship mindset. How to maximize your moment in an economic boom, how to maximize your moment even in an economic downfall. And basically the thesis of our talk tonight is how to rise from failure, how to start afresh. Now, some of you, maybe you've never needed to start afresh. Some of you, maybe you've never needed to grow. You've never needed to respond to your own awesomeness. Some of you, maybe you've never needed to recalibrate and touch once again the core and the thrust of your own soul. Some of you, maybe you've never needed to realign your digital satellite connectivity to your soul so that your soul can begin to feel that oomph, that pizzazz, that motivation to do the things that you're supposed to do. Here is the thing. There are three types of people in the world. There are those who know what they want, number one. There are those who want what they know, number two. And there are those who cannot miss an opportunity to want that which they know. So you have to determine, which one am I? Am I the one who knows what I want and I'm going to do nothing about it? Or am I the one who wants that which I know? Or am I the one who is in action to completely get the very things that I want to activate? Let me declare an interest here that several years ago, I was a young, handsome man with a six-pack, a lot of hair. My hair was really black and thick. And I was just this amazing guy many, many years ago. I read a book by T.D. Jakes called Help Me I've Fallen and I Can't Get Up Again. Help me I've fallen and I can't get up again. So today I want to talk to anyone that has fallen. Anyone that is not where they are supposed to be. Anyone that recognizes some gaps in their hypothesis. They are having a competing hypothesis in their mind. On one hand, they know where they're supposed to be, but they're not there. On another hand, they know what they're supposed to do, but they are failing to start afresh. Now, with everything going on around Zambia in particular right now, a lower dollar means you'll be able to buy your commodities at a lower rate. When the dollar is low, it means, for example, a year ago you were supposed to spend 19,000 kwacha to buy $1,000. Today, it means you're supposed to spend 14,700 to buy $1,000. That puts back in your pocket or in your capitalization 4,100 kwacha extra, which you can use for other activities. So, in order for you to start afresh, you must permit yourself to rise. So in the book, Help Me, I've Fallen and I Can't Get Up, one of the things T.D. Jakes talks about is you have to take away the shame of falling, the shame of loss. Everybody has lost something. We've lost relationships, we've lost money, we've lost capital, we've lost promotions that were meant to be ours. We've lost time. Sure. Don't get me started on time. You can lose a suit and buy another one. You can lose a car and claim from insurance. But when you lose time, that's a very expensive thing to get back. But in order to start afresh, you must let go of the absolute feeling of loss, the feeling of depression, the feeling of depravity. You are deprived. And when you let go, you are going to experience a catharsis. You are going to experience a release in your soul. You know, a woman can be pregnant for 9 months, very excited that they're going to have a baby, but they're under pressure. Keeping that baby, you know, all the things that go on, the biological chemistry, hormonal imbalances, centripetal force shifts, center of gravity shifts. You know, you gain weight, you look ugly, some of you. You know, some of you might not, but a lot of people don't even like how they look. But when a woman delivers, she feels a relief. She lets go of that thing that was holding her inside. So when you accept that I must let go of the past, you let go of pressure. Now, some of you were once very rich, you are now poor. Some of you were once very successful, you are not anymore. Some of you were flying first class, now you're just on the bus like everybody else. Some of you were once living and staying in high class residential neighborhoods, and now you're just living in the compound in a high density residential area. Some of you were once counting dollars, now you can't even count shillings and pennies. Some of you were once married to the absolutely gorgeous man or woman, and now you can't even get a date. Some of you were once A-class students, and now you can't even get a D. You can't even get a C, or you're not even average. That is the person I'm talking to today. You can start afresh. Now, you say to yourself, Mubita, but people will laugh at you. Let me tell you something. People will always laugh at you, whether you do something or you don't do anything about it. Whether you get up or you sit in your bed, there will always be somebody to laugh at you. So when you permit yourself to get up, you should do it independent of the opinions of other people. The judgments that people will place upon your life, they don't feed you, honey. They ain't going to bring you if I was in Dallas, I'm going to say, they ain't going to bring you no food. You're going to have to get off your behind and get going, get some work happening. So starting afresh is permission to survive. And some of you ain't got no choice. You gotta make it. You have to get things done. You've got rentals to pay, you've got school fees, you've got lobola. Some of you are not even married. How can you take care of somebody's daughter? You can't take care of yourself. How can you take care of somebody's son? you can't even take care of yourself. So starting all over again is about survival. It's not even about looking cool. Some of you are past looking cool. Several years ago, I went through a very devastating time in my personal life. I lost everything. I lost my name. I lost my fame. I lost my grace. I was accused of so many things. I couldn't respond. And it was so shameful. I was having to get on a bus when I could drive. At one point I had 26 cars parked outside my house, and now I was on a bus and people were pointing at fingers. That's him. Remember that article? That's him. Remember that's him they were talking about. But I had to close my mind from negativity. You see, in order to go to a positive space, you have to say goodbye to negative things. Some of the people we care about ain't gonna put no food on your table, honey. You just have to dust yourself and move. So that's step number one. It's about survival. It's not about looks. It's not about looking cool. It's about oxygen. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, you have to understand that there's so much more ahead of you. Ahead of you. In 2013, we did a business deal in Tanzania, and I gave 3 people $250,000 to go and clear 44 vehicles. And that's the last time I ever saw that money. And in the process, we lost the entire $250,000, 2013. And it was one of the worst moments of my life. And I said, I got depressed, I got sad, but then I said to myself, wait a minute. Who made that $250,000 to begin with? I said, it's me. How did I make it? It was in me. Where did I make it? Right where I am. Of course, the next question was, where did I lose it? That's another topic. And so I had to say to myself, Muvita, there's so much more. Say that with me right now. Say, there's so much more in me. Say it with me. Yes, there's so much more in you. So number one, don't worry about the shame. It's about survival. Number two, there's so much in you. Therefore, get up. Therefore, get up. Don't give up on things that have so much more to give. You don't give up on a car with 5,000 kilometers as mileage. No, you don't. No, you don't. There's so much more in you. Put yourself together. No, Muvita, I spent all the money I have. There's so much more. But Muvita, I believed it would work out. There is so much more. When you look at people like Ronald Reagan, they were becoming president 78, 79 years old. You look at Walt Disney, he was becoming a millionaire after four heart attacks and 3 bankruptcies, and Walt Disney became a millionaire. There's so much more in you. Some of you are 22 years old and you're giving up on life. Get a life. You cannot give up on yourself at 22, 32, 42, 52, and you're depressed. 62. I saw a 69-year-old woman give birth. 69 years old. How old was Sarah when she had a child? 90 years old. Sarah was carrying an under 5 clinic, prenatal clinic, at 90 years old. Girl didn't even have no receipt of contraceptive, but there was so much more in her. Number 3, get organized. Jordan says there's so much more in me. Absolutely. Kelvin says there's so much more in me. Thank you for following, guys. Glenda says, thank you for being vulnerable and showing that a person can come back. We get to come back from loss. Yes, we can. You are all welcome and thank you for joining us. I'll be done with you shortly, but we've got about 3 more points to go. Number 3, get organized. You can't start afresh with the same chaos that created the last chaos. You cannot. You cannot. If your electric meter has 10 units of electricity and you want to cook dry fish, you're going to have to get organized. You're going to have to get organized. Somebody once said, we cannot solve today's problems with the same mistakes and methodology that created them last time. So get organized. Disorganization is the greatest enemy of success. So there are 4 areas in your life that you must get organized. Number 1, the management of time. How do you manage your time? Who do you allocate your time to? What do you allocate your time to? Number 1. Number 2, the management of relationships. And by relationships, I don't mean your wife alone or your husband alone or your children alone. I mean relationships in general. The inflow and outflow of energies emotionally, spiritually, and socially in your life. The people that we allow to filter in our consciousness, this, what John Maxwell calls the substrata of our lives, they form and shape the image that we form and shape in our own consciousness. So the people you allow to have a verdict, a veto, a vote, and a validated say in your life must change. You can no longer listen to the same people that took you down. You now have to listen to people that are going to take you up. An ego doesn't look for smoke, for thunder, for gossip, for whispers, always asking, what are people saying about me? No. An ego looks for the wind, and it always goes in the opposite direction of the wind. So get organized with your time, get organized with relationships. Number 3, get organized with your finances. You can't get up whilst broke. Broke people are good at certain things, but they are terrible at getting up. So in sorting out your finances, make sure that you recapitalize your entrepreneurshipness. You revitalize and resuscitate, replenish and rebuild that spirit of creating wealth. What have you given up on yourself? Where has that dreamer gone? That person who used to make money in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. Why have you murdered the dreamer in yourself? Why have you allowed your own soul to commit suicide within your own chest? You've got to go to that person and say, I want you back. I've missed you. I'm sorry I let you go, but I need you back in my life. You've got to learn to speak to your soul. Somebody wrote a song years ago, why so downcast, oh my soul? Put your hope in God. The South Africans sing a song, I've come this far, that's Americans, I've come this far, I find no fault, I feel like going on. Troubles are all around me, but I feel like going on. Pick up that great person in you, the ego, the giant. You've listened too much to the sissy, the pussy, the scary wet pant, the self-doubting person, always criticizing yourself. My head is too big. My knuckles are too big. My tongue is too spotted. My shoulders are too broad. My thumbs. Even if you were the creator of yourself, you would have done a worse job than what God did. So get with the program, accept who you are, accept where you are, and start making that money. In order to start afresh, we need some money. I said 4 areas that you need to get organized. Finances. Number 4 is your physical health. Some of you are not depressed. You're just in a bad physical shape. You look horrible physically. That's why you feel horrible. We feel what we look like. Those people who look great, guess what? They feel great on the inside. We manifest what we feel on the inside. How do you manage your health? You do what you gotta do. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. I can't tell you what you need to do. You need to sort that out. You need to work out what you need to do to get healthy. If you don't do that, you will find yourself in deficit. Tanisha says 4 areas in your life that you must manage: time, relationship, finances, physical health. Absolutely. So you cannot be, your body mass index must be in ratio. You cannot be eating and chowing on anything and everything, anytime and every time. I was talking to my daughter about 2 hours ago, and she was on the phone chewing, and I said, "Hey, you are always chewing, eh?" She says, "Hey, I'm about to go to the boarding school, so I need to chew as much as I can." Well, maybe that's her. She's a young girl. She's going to boarding school. What about you? How are you eating? How are you keeping yourself healthy? I want to give you a 5th area that you need in order to get up. We've talked about finances, relationships, physical health, and we've talked about time management. I want to give you a 5th area. It's discipline. Develop the power to say no to roads that lead nowhere, to things that lead nowhere. And one of the ways we do that is by learning from our mistakes. I want to conclude today by saying the following. The spirit of entrepreneurship is a spirit of self-recreation, self-rebranding, self-repositioning, self-acceptance. Abraham Maslow could have talked about hierarchy of need, physiological, psychological, sociological, all the way up to self-actualization. Sigmund Freud could have talked about people do what they do because they are motivated to do so. That's fine. But I want to ask you today, what will motivate you to rise, to start afresh? And let me tell you, some of us are waiting on your greatness. Some of us have an idea just how great you are as a person. We have an idea. And we've been sitting in the terraces, clapping. We've brought the band, we've brought the marching band, we've brought the dancing queens, we've brought the curtain raisers, but you haven't been showing up. But today we are calling you out to rise, to shine. As Isaiah chapter 60 verse 1 says, arise and shine, for your light has come, and the glory of God has risen upon you. The story of Jesus fascinates me. He was a man born in a manger, humble backgrounds. Be careful with people born in a manger. Be careful with people from very humble backgrounds. They are dangerous. They are very dangerous. They are very dangerous. Maya Angelou wrote a poem, said, "Still I rise." I came today to smoke you out of your closet. I came today to say, if it's the skeleton in your closet that has been holding you back, you're going to come out with it. I came today to put red ants in your pants. I came today to ask you to smack your lips and swing your hips, because it is your time. It is your moment. Remember that point on relationships? Don't ask for permission to shine. Just shine. The sun never writes a memo and says, I'm asking for the permission to overcome the moon that was glowing for the last 12 hours. I'm asking for permission to sneak out of the clouds and behind. The sun just says it's 6 a.m., it's 5:30, it's 5 a.m., and the cock will crow to confirm the greatness of the sun. I ask you today to come out like the sun. and rise and shine. I ask you today to take your brokenness and come out with it. Let me tell you, even a broken vase still holds roses. Even a broken candle still glows. And no matter how small a candle is, it's never too small to light up. There is so much more in you. At 30 years old, Jesus had been through temples, what? Rejection, what? Brokenness, what? Barrenness, what? At 30 years old, he had a 3-year window to transform this world. And boy, did he hit that ball out of the ballpark. And some of you have been going around circles. It's because of your manger experience. And God has used your mess to turn it into a message. God has used your pain to turn it into gain. And like that pregnant woman, your water has broken. You can start all over again. Carlton Pearson wrote a song in Louisiana. Not Louisiana, Carlton Pearson, not Louisiana. Texas. Anyway, I've forgotten the states now. But Carlton Pearson wrote a song, says, "There's a reason why I can't stop running this race. I've come too far to turn back now." May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord lift you up. Henry says, "Mr. Nawa, we need a seminar. Sir, please, ASAP. We'll hook you up. It's time to shine. We don't need permission to be ourselves." You can take a frog and put it in a palace. It will still frog. What if a horse sneezes? A frog does what? Anyway, whatever. You can take a pigeon and put it in a temple. It will still have pigeon manners. And some of you have been hiding your manners for too long because you've been hiding who you truly are. It's time to shine. I'm going to leave you with Marianne Williamson's great poem, one of my favorite poems quoted by Nelson Mandela, and then I'll say goodbye. Thank you for joining us. Those of you that joined us from America, Choma, Lusaka, wherever you joined us from, I want to say thank you. So I want to say goodbye and leave you with a poem by Marianne Williamson, the great poem, which says, and I quote, "Our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond our measure. It is our light that frightens us the most, and not our darkness. We say to ourselves, who am I to be great, to be beautiful, and to be powerful? And I say to you, who are you not to be? For you are a child of God, created in the image of God, to make manifest the glory of God that is within you. For as you make manifest the glory of God that is within you, you invariably give permission to other people to shine as well and to let go of their fears." End of quote. This has been your friend, your brother, Muvita Nawa, from Lusaka, Zambia, a place where birds fly backwards, asking you, requesting you, adjuring you to start afresh. And you don't need no permission for that. Goodbye.